Welcome back to the Wisdom Playbook. I'm Mario, and here we're all about giving business owners the tools, the insights, and the strategies they need in order to level up their business. So, if you're looking for strategies, frameworks, and real world solutions, you're in the right place. All right, so I guess the first question we need to know and to understand is what is the business cycle? And essentially, you need to think about it like the water cycle, right? It starts with condensation up in the clouds. The clouds get all close together. Then afterwards, they turn into a storm cloud and they end up raining everything out. Once it's here on the earth, either the soil is going to absorb it or it's going to turn into what we call runoff, right? And they're going to run off into a stream somewhere, end up in the lake or some type of pool or body of water. Then evaporation happens, goes right back up in the clouds, then starts all over again. The business cycle follows kind of the same pattern, um, but these are the steps in the business cycle. You have profit, money, capital, whatever you want to call it. Next, you have leads. Under that, you have labor, and then last, you have leadership. And in a business, you're going to continue going around in this cycle until either you get out of the business and you generate passive income from the business, you sell the business, God forbid, you're just not here with us anymore, or the business is just not sustainable and it goes under. Hopefully, it's not the latter, but the former things that we talked about. So, let's get into it. So, the first and the beginning part of business, and most people start out at this point, is where their business needs money. Your business, the money is the lifeblood of the business, and you need that in order to survive. So, if your business isn't making money, then your business is not going to be very good. So, in order to make money in your business, you need to generate leads. That is the first thing, the first step in your business. So if you have any type of money problem in your business, it's because you're either not generating enough leads, you're not converting leads, or maybe you just need to raise your prices. Literally, I was working with a lady. She essentially came, did business coaching with us, and she's like, Mario, I need to make more money. So we went through the whole spiel and we just came to the conclusion that she just needed to raise her prices. And by raising her prices a couple of dollars, she was good to go after that. Now every job that she did was 10 times more profitable at the end of the day. And sometimes that's all it takes. But like I said, the next step is conversion. If you have 100, 200, 1,000 leads coming in, but you're only converting 10% of them, then you're not necessarily doing your job right. That conversion in the customers that's where all your leads are at. You don't necessarily need more, you just need to be better at converting them. And then last but not least is you generating more leads. In a video I did prior, I talked about the sales funnel. In that video, you can see what things you need to do in order to build more leads, because it goes from awareness to interest to conversion down to retention. So if you want to learn more about generating leads, go check out that video. So let's say that you figured out the problem, whatever that might be, why you're not generating enough leads. Now you're in the leads bubble. So usually when you're in the leads bubble now, the problem that you're having is labor, employees, people that you need in order to service those leads that you have coming in. And now that could be a whole different problem in itself. But maybe you don't. So I guess the answer to that question, if you just want it up front, is you need to hire more people. But that might not be the answer necessarily. It might just be the people that you have aren't being efficient and effective with the things that they're being given right now. For example, let's say that we had a lawn care company, or let's just say any type of trades business in general. And Um, Essentially, they are taking forever to finish a job, let's say, because they might be spending 10 or 15 minutes in the car before they actually get to the job and start working. Or maybe they run back to the warehouse because they forgot, a supply or something, or not supply, but a tool. So they had to go back to the warehouse and get it, and then now the job is taking even longer. Or they just might just be goofing off. So now the question is, how efficient are your people? Do we really need to hire another person and buy another truck, or can we do with what we have? So like, and I guess this kind of goes into the question of what you want to do in your business. Is it, do you want to grow or do you want to scale? Because those two are two different things when it comes to business. Growing is essentially keeping the same people, keeping the same trucks, and over time, right? And you have the same amount of leads coming in, right? That's you growing, right? You're not adding anything new to your business. You're just sustaining, right? And then you're supposed to use that profit. Let's jump into that real quick. So, simple terms. What is profit? Revenue minus expenses equals your profit, what you have left over. And now you take that profit now, right? And then you decide, okay, what am I gonna do in this business with this profit? You can put it towards marketing, you can put it towards hiring another person. Maybe your big dream, your big goal is to start a new location, right? You start putting money where it needs to go, and then you work from there. But let's reel it in. I tend to go on a tangent sometimes. So we're at labor, right? So that might be the issue. Not necessarily you need to hire more people to do the job, but it might just be making the people that you have now more efficient so that they can get more done, essentially making them more productive. All right. So let's say that, all right, we got the leads, we made our guys more productive. At the end of the day, we still had to hire more people to fill these requests. Now that you have more people, or you have this team of people, you need somebody to manage these people. And this is the third bubble, which is what we call leadership. And this can go one of two ways. Either you can take somebody that was part of your labor crew and raise them up, train them to become a manager or some type of operations manager in the business, and then work it that way. The benefits to this, the pro, is that this person now is going to be cheaper than anybody that you hire outside. The negative to this, right? Oh, also it'll build morale, right? And it shows people that there is a growth process in the company. One of the main reasons people leave a job is because it's a job and it's not a career. There's no growth opportunity in it, and that is one of the biggest things that is the problem in the small businesses, is that people feel like they're stuck because there's no growth opportunities. So if you want more people to stay in your business, make sure they see a way or a path for them to grow financially, and with their leadership experience, right? So that is one of the positives to hiring somebody or moving somebody up within the business. One of the negatives now is that this person don't necessarily has the expertise to do their job. You have to essentially invest in them, which there's nothing wrong with that, but just know that your business is going to grow slower because of that. So the flip side of that, let's say that we hire out. If we hire somebody into the leadership position that we need, most of the times, and hopefully, they're going to come in with experience. They're going to come in knowing how to do their job, one. Two, most likely, they're going to look at how you're doing things now, and they're going to say, hopefully they're going to ask questions first, right? Why are we doing it this way? And they know what the job is supposed to look like. And so since they know exactly what it's supposed to look like, they can start building how that job or that role is supposed to look, and have your laborers working in a certain way and in a certain fashion, which is going to in turn help your company. The downside to that is that this person might be a little bit more expensive than the person that you'll train up. And because of that, right, there's a book, I think it's called Who Not How or something like that. And essentially the book talks about the things that you aren't good in, hire that out, right? Figure out who the person that you need is, find them, and then hire them instead of you figuring out the how to do X, Y, and Z. I'm not a marketing specialist, so there's no point in me having to learn everything where I can just go hire an agency or a director of marketing and they just come in, find a solution, and fix the problem. It makes it a whole lot easier, and they already have experience doing it, so they know exactly what they're looking for, instead of you taking it upon yourself, learning everything, which is going to take time, and implementing things, and then you're going to mess up along the way, when you can just hire somebody who knows how to do everything already, right? That's a good investment. So either way, when you hire leaders, because there's two levels of leaders I think we need to understand as well. There is the high level leaders, and then there's lower level leaders. As in, there's the people who deal with the stuff side. As in, let's say that we have laborers, we have workers, we're on a construction site. There's the people who actually build the house, and then you have the people who have the vision for the business. So you're gonna have two sides to that coin, and then you need to hire, let's say, the vision side of it. You have the CEO. You need to hire your CSO, your chief sales officer, and your CMOs, and your COOs, and your CFOs, and then they're there to help build the vision for the company. Then you have the laborers who's actually delivering the product or the service, right? They're both well needed. One can't happen without the other, but you just need to understand what positions you're hiring for. Regardless of the fact, when you hire somebody new, it's going to take dollars. They're going to take some funds, and that puts us right back at the top with capital, right? We need more money to hire this person, or this person costs a lot more than we thought to keep them around, so we need to generate more leads. And so that is basically going to be the cycle forever. And so you need to figure out what place in the cycle you're at. And then, of course, when you're first starting a business, you might not need the leadership portion of right away, because it's just you. So when you hire somebody else, it's literally, okay, I'm gonna hire this person. Now I jump from, so let me back up a little bit. So if we're starting from the beginning, and we're in the trades or any type of industry, it's just us, so we need capital for us to just pay our regular bills. The next step to that is, okay, we need to generate leads. We do that, and then let's say we get good at that, right? So I'm generating leads, I'm doing the work, the money's coming to me, right? And that's going to be the cycle until we realize that either one, we don't want to do all the work anymore, or two, we want to scale and grow. So if we want to scale the business, that doesn't mean that we need to hire another person to do this job. So now you have three things. So you need to be profitable, or you need to have capital, you need to generate leads, and you have somebody that's working for you, so they need to know how to do their job. And then technically you will be the leader in that situation. So we're not necessarily at leadership, but you're just going to take on that role. And then hiring that person, you're going to need more money to pay them, because they're going to probably want to grow into the company as well. So so you're not really going to touch that fourth sphere yet. You're going to just go like this, and then eventually you can hire a couple more people. You're the leader, so you're not necessarily worried about that. And then eventually you're going to get to the point where you have a team lead. you just take somebody out that's been with you and make them the team lead, and the business keeps on going and keeps on going. And eventually you're like, okay, I need to do something else because I'm not generating the leads that I used to generate before. The business is not profitable, and that's when I say you need to raise your prices. Or is our marketing working? Are we good at converting? What things in the business we need to fix? And the thing that in the business we need to fix is going to be in one of these 4 quadrants. And then the more you go around the cycle, the more of the things you're going to need, and the deeper the problems are going to get as well. Hopefully that helped, and you got a good amount of insight to what the business cycle is and how it can help you. But that's it for the playbook today. So just remember, keep hustling, keep grinding, and remember, always play to win. Talk to you soon.